Yeah. Okay, so boo 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 boo. Meow meow. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, actually, Danelo Cavalcante escaped. Murderer, international fugitive. So the recent doorbell camera, we should really get one of those. Why have to be a slave to Big Brother when you could be Big Brother itself? Some guys are content with the Hawaiian pussy, and then some guys aren't. You know, the Edward Snowden, he's like, I'm an intelligence agent for the National Security Agency. I could take the hot girlfriend. I could take the salary. You know what I mean? Do the job. I don't care if it's spying on Americans. I don't give a fuck. So I just care about cash and ass. Would have probably made a pretty perfect soldier, I think, if I had applied myself. Hindsight's 2020. It always will be forever. So, okay, so the guy Masterson. So he was living pretty high. Wasn't really struggling, right? Like when he was my age. So most people my age, like 24 years old, are kind of hustling, kind of struggling out there, working one or two jobs or some shit. Out there in the hustle, out there in the struggle, for survival, trying to get some dough, trying to get some ass. This guy, Danny Masterson, was living pretty high hog by the time, 24, I wasn't living high hog. I was living like, broke. And job's a joke, you're broke. It was like the Friends, basically without friends, though. It was like the show Friends without friends. Look how hot this chick is, dude. You want to get a Latino one? Want to get some Jenna Ortega ass? Yeah, I wish I could afford that shit. It looks like some expensive pussy. So Danny Masterson was like, this world is mine. And he was like partying and, getting it on, getting randy with the tequila and the drugs. And then he was like, I'm a king. And then one night he just started ripping it up, had all these hot girls over and they were just like hoping to be his wife so they can have children or have a family or American dream or some bullshit like that. And then one night he's just hitting it and he's ripping the tequila and then he just starts banging the chick. Then it's like 20 years later and the chicks are like, remember that guy who was rich? He still might have some money. We're kind of having hard times after the plague, and let's accuse that guy of rape and destroy his life, even though he's married and moved on from that, pretty wild night when he was hitting the coke and doing the butt sex with the chicks and just acting like an animal, basically. Acting like he's just bending over hot chicks and he's blowing lines of coke. He's just kind of like having his Hunter Biden moment, essentially, except it was just that one time in 2003 when he was like the star of that 70s show. And so the women got together and said, it's the Me Too movement and you can just accuse like Donald Trump or whoever of rape. And, you'll probably, if you convict in a New York or some liberal court, man, you're probably going to have a great, you don't have to have evidence. You don't have to have sperm. You don't have to have like sperm on the titties or inside the vagina or like, there's no rape test or anything. It's all just women saying, oh, he raped me. He bent me over and I said no. I doubt those women were saying no back in those days. Come on. I'm sure they were like, bend me over, spank me, daddy, spank it harder. No, it was like, come on, daddy, lay down the law. Okay, that's probably what really happened. But for financial, societal, cultural reasons, you have to say, if you want to be rich, you have to sue somebody else that's rich, right? That's what it's come down in these days. So the women got together. They got the lawyers. They said, yeah, we can tag this guy. This guy has like, I don't know, maybe he had like $40 million or something. Yeah, we're going to nail this guy. We're going to destroy his marriage. We're going to destroy his kids. So one night he let it loose. He let the tornado out the barn, or he let the tornado out of Oklahoma. He let the tiger out of the zoo, you know? Just one night. He let the beast take over. The animal, the savage. And for that, now he's got to spend his life in prison until he's 70 fucking years old. Danny Masterson. Rest in peace, brother. Because somebody's probably gonna try to shank you or butt fuck you in the jail because they're gonna know that you were a superstar and all that crap. So. Don't bend over, Danny. This Leroy is gonna have that big African dong ready for you, right? Big old African dark dong ready. Don't drop that soap, boy. It's that big sub-Saharan African ding dong. It's gonna be waiting for you. Rest in peace, brother. So, now this guy doesn't look like a swell guy. He looks like a douchebag, but trust me, I've met enough pompous white people in my life. Yeah. 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 For the $600 million?
Okay. It's $1 each, right?
$2 each?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so I'll do $10 for it.
You will?
Yeah.
All right. I'll pick the best numbers. Love you.
Do you think you should do like 2, 4, 6? Should you do like 4 tickets and then I'll do a quick pick?
Yeah.
Or do you want to do all of them?
You want to? I'll do 10 and you do a quick pick.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Did you want me to do three $3 ones, or you want me to just do 5
Yeah.
$10?
No. What's the difference between the $2 and the $3?
The $3 is power played, so if it wins, it'll double the money.
Okay, so you should do 5?
Well, that would be $15.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I think you get one quick pick for the $600 million.
No. If I'm gonna do the $3.
Okay, do the 15.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, then no quick pick unless you just felt like it.
Yeah. But it
Okay.
costs $2, not more.
And it's $3 each.
No.
For
I'm
5.
saying on the normal, it is the power.
Yeah, normally it's $2. Okay.
It is?
Yeah, normally it's $2, but you power play it to
What
3.
is it on Wednesday and Saturday night?
It's Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
Okay, I thought it was just $1.
No, it's the Powerball.
Oh,
It's the National Lottery.
Oh, Texas, what is it?
Texas two-step is $1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Mom. All right, I love you. Best mom in the world. I'm going to get cooking on dinner.
Oh, I can't wait.
You know it. Okay, I'm not going to let the secret strategy out the bag for the Powerball. I'll keep that to myself when I give you the tickets.
Keep what to yourself?
I'm the secret strategy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not going to spill the beans. Okay, so for the beef, put a little garlic powder. That garlic, like vampires, like Count Dracula and shit. Then we got some onion powder for that oniony flavor on the beef, right? Uh-oh. Looks like it kind of got hard boiled on there. Oh! Oh, man. Even the long ding-dong of the 6 feet tall man can't even get down there, huh? Even the big, long fingers, no, I don't really have big hands like Jimi Hendrix or anything, so it'd be easier to play guitar you're like an African man with some big ass hands, you're able to get down on the shit. Like Jimi Hendrix. You imagine Jimi Hendrix with some blonde butt naked girls and he's like feeling on the tits and shit, and he's like sticking the big finger up the pussy. Yeah. Those guys kind of died too young, huh? Yeah. Kind of like, yeah. Those guys, because they were on drugs and shit. No, it was Jim Morrison. He didn't just seem like an alcoholic. It seemed like he was just doing drugs like a candy store all the time. It's like he was getting blazed out, like, you know, tripping on acid during the daytime and just all kinds of wacky shit. You know, crazy fucking shit health-wise. And so we all know why Jim Morrison died. It's the same way Jimi Hendrix died, but I think probably put some butter down on the beef, okay? That's what we're gonna do. Put that butter beef. All right. So get the butter. Then we're gonna get the. Yeah, Jim Morrison was just wild. I mean, that dude was just fucking crazy. I don't think Jimi Hendrix was crazy. He might have had an addiction to pills or something, but I don't think he was nuts. But all the rock stars partied hard back then. So, for the most part, except for Neil Young. No, he looked high as hell sometimes, didn't he? Yeah. But he was probably smoking dope or something. When he's doing like, helpless, helpless. He's doing the Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young stuff. Like, all those people, when they're singing and stuff, they seem like they're fucking ripped. Because everything's like, kind of like in slow motion. And, what is this shit? Can you imagine having to sit there, listen to White House, like listen to people, Jack Kirby and Anthony Blinken and all these fucking Biden stooges lie about everything they're doing? I would hate to be a journalist because you just have to listen to politicians lie and lie and lie and lie. And it would just get, not just would it become pessimistic and disillusioning, it would just become boring as well. It would just become like nauseating. So, yeah. Rest in peace, Danny Masterson. That African Somali ding dong is waiting for you, right? Yeah. He's gonna be in the GP, the general population. And they're gonna be like, "What are you in for?" And he's gonna be like, "Sex." And they're gonna be like, "Uh-oh, we need to." Well, at least he'll be protected as long as he didn't say little kids, as long as he wasn't like a pedo like Jared Fogle, because that'll get your ass fucking killed in jail. That's like the code. That's the main code is that you don't touch children, right? So they kill those fucking people in prison. Really, like if you want to put a target on your back in prison, that's the first way. That's like the ticket. So he's gonna say, like, okay, he's in for rape, and then they're gonna be like, oh, okay, well, there's a lot of guys in here for, sex stuff with females, for violations of. But I think it was some party girls, and they were partying with him back in the day, and they thought they were gonna get something out of it, and then he's like, hey, you were just my Thursday booty call, and my Friday booty call is different, and then my Saturday booty call, it's a different girls. So I go like African on Saturday, and then on Sunday I do like Latina, and then Monday is like white girls, and then, like Tuesday is like Romanians, and Wednesdays. And then when all these girls figure that out, very quickly they figure this out, right? That they were just being used for fun time. That they weren't gonna be able to live a life of luxury. That they were just, hey, come over and party one night. Young, impressionable young women, sexually attractive women. And then he's like, all right, don't talk about this, and he didn't make him sign a waiver, before they enter his casa, but probably would have saved his ass. Been like, okay, you're signing a waiver that we may engage in sexual activity and you may take drugs and you can't ever sue me or criminally prosecute me for this because you're signing this waiver that you're open, that you're saying yes, that you're consenting to these possibilities happening at my mansion. And so that might have been good legally. But, you know, guys are like, hey, you know, it's people's free choice and free will. I don't want to do prenups or pre-arrangements because this is... It would have been smart, but the guys are like, hey, let's let life happen. Let's just let it, you know, do its thing. And so, unfortunately, that came back to bite him in the ass 20 years later. Danny Masterson. I'm not a fan of him, and I'm not a fan of that 70s show. I could give a fuck less. But, I'm not a big fan of retro shows, right? I mean, not really. I mean, I wasn't alive during the 1970s, so I don't really have... Okay, my mom has a lot of memories from the 70s because that's when she grew up. So she's got, you know, an attachment to it. I really don't have an attachment to the 1970s. Not really, except just via my mother. And, but part and parcel, tried and true, I'm really a product of the 1980s. So, maybe conceived in the 1970s, but I am, by all accounts, a 1980s kid at heart, at fiber, in the timestamp. So, yeah, it was fun being a kid because it was just a fucking blast. Oh yeah. No politics. Not really even. You had to worry about finances because if you're a poor kid, that means you don't get food. Okay, so you do have to worry about that. If you're a poor kid, you got to worry about healthcare. Well, not really, but you're a kid. But I'm saying like you have to worry about. Okay, so you know that there's these guys called Richie Rich. So you know that there's these well-off families where they had the show in the 1980s with Ricky Schroeder. It was called Silver Spoons. So you knew that some kid somewhere was living like that. But most kids weren't living like that. Okay, so the neuroscientist's son was getting all the shit. The Hunter Bidens, the Bill Gates, right? Elon Musk's son or daughter, they're getting everything, you know. And so you know that there are these people out there, but you don't, it's not like you live in a poor house and then right next door is a mansion and then you go over Billy's house and he's Rockefeller or something. It's not like, you know, it's really directly in your face. You know it exists somewhere, but it's not. Spread this butter on here. It's like butter. I might even put some more because it's kind of like I put it on one side and then yeah. Kind of mix it around and might try to get some of the corn going on. We're just gonna put some want the flavor, you get the pepper in there. We already put onion powder and stuff, so that's good. We don't want to overdo it. And then we want to get some saltage. We don't have garlic salt, but that's okay. It's still gonna be delicious with the au jus French dip. So that was a fantastical show in the 80s, 1980s. Actually, that's what the guy who's like the rich guy in that reminds me of my stepdad. But the joke of the show is that the father acts more like the kid than the kid does, and the kid is more mature than the dad. So, huh? All right. Okay. Getting what? Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess the dad on the show reminded me a lot of my stepdad. He was a big, tall guy, and he was like had the shaggy 1970s, 1980s hair like that, and he reminded me a lot of my stepdad. And he was tall. He wasn't silly. He wasn't like immature, but like he wasn't like acting like a kid, and then and he's like 35. No, it wasn't that bad. But so one day I did something bad. I started watching Silver Spoon's marathon came on, and I started watching it. And it kind of transported me back to being a kid watching that show. And they even had like the a lot of the 1980s. A lot of the 1980s shows have like goofy theme songs, and that one is like, "Together we're gonna find a way." It's so cheesy. It's so maudlin and everything. And the 80s is really cheesy because there's a lot of music and there's a lot of like, there's a lot of jingles. There's a lot of goofiness. There's a lot of silliness. There's a lot of zaniness going on in the 1980s because that's where I think America had drifted away from cynicism and pessimism from the Vietnam War era and the Nixon era, and they were basically going into, I guess, in the beginning of some sort of escapist time period, kind of kicked off by Star Wars and people like George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. So yeah, it was just kind of like America was returning to form in the 1980s, and with Reagan, it was kind of returning back to its roots. So that's why America was so happy at that time, because it was returning to its like foundational principles, and that's why America was so happy. And plus, the Soviet Union and communism was failing, and so there was a lot to be happy about. People really weren't under a tech surveillance Big Brother state like is emerging now, and even add to that like artificial intelligence. So people felt free and they lived free. It's not like they were worried about I don't know, walking down the street and being, filmed or photographed or anything like that. They got to live their lives pretty much free, and they didn't really fear. They kind of feared Big Brother, but not on the level of today. Today is a ridiculous fear, a ridiculous paranoia about Big Brother. Danelo Cavalcante from Brazil, international fugitive wanted by Brazilian authorities and the authorities of the United States of America, FBI, U.S. Marshal Services, etc. Interesting. You just gotta. So in the late 1970s, early 80s, there was this gorgeous woman. Her name was Erin Gray. And I didn't even comprehend how awesome she looked when I was a little kid, because I wasn't. When you're a little kid, sex is not foremost on the mind a lot for guys. And of course, after guys hit puberty, then it's sex, tits and ass, pussy, tits, ass. Then it's just that all the time. But all right, so the beef is cooking, but we're gonna make the sauce so we can pour it in there. But first, we have to mix it up. Gotta mix shit up, dog. Okay, so I did 2 packets, so I did 4 cups. And, all right. And we're gonna put this on a boil, baby. Yeah. Oh, we gotta mix it up first. Gotta fix it up and mix it up, boy. All right, then we put the burner on high, follow the instructions. Bring to a boil over medium heat. Oh. Man, this Fox News Sunday show is like retarded today. It's like, what the? You know what?
That's so good, doesn't it, Dada?
Mama Lou.
Oh, I love Anna in Sky
I love Mama Lou and Bella. Gotta go. So, what do I think Danny Masterson takedown was all about? It's to perpetuate a myth that men are somehow sexual predators, that men are somehow that masculinity and testosterone and things like that are dangerous to society. And that's all to prove a point. The reason why they use wealthy and powerful men is because wealthy and powerful men, as that example by the left, they don't use poor guys because no one would care. Hate to say that, but no one cares about poor guys. The system uses wealthy, famous dudes as examples. What's their modus operandi? Well, it's to tell straight white heterosexual dudes is to spank them on the ass and say, yield to us. We're more powerful than you. We're more intelligent than you. And submit. This world is not yours. It is ours. So that's the point. So they make examples of these people, or they try to anyway. So why are they having trouble with Trump? So if this cabal is so powerful, so connected, why are they having trouble with Trump? Yeah. They're having such a time with Trump because, well, he doesn't really do anything. Like, yeah, he likes beautiful women and stuff. Yeah, he likes hot babes, but he marries them and he has children with them. So he's traditional. He's religious. You know, he's like a Christian. Okay. Judeo-Christian values. They're having trouble with him because he's traditional. Doesn't drink anymore. If he ever did, he doesn't drink. And he doesn't smoke. Doesn't do drugs. You can't even catch this boy out at a titty bar trying to look at some fresh live tits. He doesn't do hookers. He doesn't do drugs. He's not Hunter Biden. He's not like Hunter Biden or Danny Masterson. He's not always rolling with fresh coochie. So they're having kind of a time because Trump doesn't do anything. He's kind of really boring. Kind of like businessmen that are in their 60s and 70s are kind of boring. They're kind of like, yeah. The most they're going to do, the most 60, 70-year-old businessmen are going to do is if they decide to get wild, they're going to get some girls in a jacuzzi if they want to party, and they're going to bust out the Jim Beam, and that's it. That's usually about as hardcore as it gets. It's just going to be booze and boobies. And some of them don't even do that, ever. Especially as they get older. They lose interest. They don't lose interest in sex or beautiful women or anything like that. You never lose interest in that. But I'm saying they cool it down. They focus on their priorities, like their family and their grandchildren and stuff like that. So their first priority is not like, hey, I need to see some titties today, or I'm going to go nuts. All right. 1 3/4 cup of water. Let's do it. Okay. Well, I think we want to boil the do the corn first. So where's Danelo Calvacante? They caught him on a door ring capture thing somewhere in Pennsylvania outside the police search area. Hey.
Is your phone on the side?
Yeah. What's up?
I wanted you to hold this up here
Okay.
for a second.
I'm not really trying to watch racing.
Oh, I know. Make sure it's, make sure
What?
it's rising and perfect. Okay. All right.
Are you gonna try to knock this wall out?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as you don't turn it into The Simpsons like Diane.
No, I'm wanting a counter with 4 cabinets like these, and then 4 cabinets across.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, extra space for the...
It used to be like that cabinets and then a bar right here. Till about here. So
Uh-huh.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't want a bar in here.
A bar?
Yeah, there used to be a bar.
Oh, no.
Bar stools. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
What do you eat? Ice cube?
Yeah, just ice cube.
Oh, my baby.
So you boil the corn and then it takes what? So like 10 minutes?
Or 5 minutes after it's boiling.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just boil it and. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Can I have one little spoon?
Certainly. Indeed. Have it a go. Have a go at it. Help yourself. You shall enjoy my meals. Wheelers, mealers. Wheelers, mealers. You got the feelers. Huh? Yeah. It's going to be mashed potato.
Are you making green
Wow,
beans
wow,
too?
wow. No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just going to be standard potatoes, corn, and then meat with a sauce. So it's going to be like kind of
Yeah.
streamlined into that particular
We don't have
area.
green beans every day.
We can't have green beans every day.
Bella would like it, but
Yeah. But we'll have green beans in dinner this week. All right. We'll get down with the green bean. Ha ha ha. Danelo Cavalcante. So finally he took the advice of the internet and he shaved his beard. Is it gonna... So he went for a clean cut look. So I guess he's looking for a house. There's bad storms, so he's looking for shelter. I guess he was able to shave. Maybe he stole some shaving products and went into a restroom somewhere, a la The Fugitive. Just running around cities, running around places on the run, on the lam. So... I don't usually watch car racing. It's not kind of my thing. I'm gonna be watching the news. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Oh, Granny and Crystal and Dan want to watch other stuff. Copycat cop.
yeah. It might even be like a local, I mean like a Arkansas show.
Oh, really?
But, I don't like that.
What's the Arkansas cops? Is it like, or they're like, no, get on boy. Is it like real slow, like retarded?
But Mom watches it later because Dan records it, but then she
Yeah. Is it like country boys, what you gonna do? Country boy, what you gonna do? What they gonna do when the Arkansas come for you? Man dressing in his overalls, going to the farm on the tractor. Arkansas boys. So when I lived and worked in Arkansas, this is what the conversation would be like. At the Lowe's Home Improvement Center I'd work, I swear. I'd go into the lunchroom, and the conversation would be like, some girl would be like, well, Jed took the truck. Yeah, we broke up. But he took my truck, though. He didn't pay the last trailer payment. And I'm like, it's like, oh, God. We're in Arkansas, folks. We're in fucking Arkansas. Take me the fuck back to Texas, because we're in fucking Arkansas. Jed, Bubba didn't pay the last payment. Bubba's a deadbeat. He even stole my britches before he left the trailer. And didn't return them. Country boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when Jebediah comes for you? What you gonna do when Zeke comes for you? Country boys. Yeah, so the guy's like, the Chester County Sheriff, he seems like kind of a prickish. He's like, we got a coordinated search pattern for Danelo Cavalcante. He's like, we got this on lock, baby. Guy's so full of shit. I mean, why is he dancing around all your perimeters all the time? This guy's like, where's Waldo? It's like, where's Danilo? Country boys. What y'all gonna do? So now, so the reporters are asking the question. They're like, okay. Like, well, if your search parameter is so tight, then why is he escaping it all the time? It's a fair question. I mean, if you have a president rambling in Vietnam about John Wayne movies, kind of have a problem here, folks. No, nothing against John Wayne. But if you have a president that's rambling about Dogface Pony Soldier in Hanoi, Hilton, Vietnam, yeah, your country has some major fucking issues. Okay, that goes without saying. So he cleaned up. He's going for the clean boy look. Maybe he's trying to look younger, so he doesn't. A good trick is if you're 30 and you want to pull some 25-year-old ass. So what would your strategy be if you're like a 32-year-old male, but you want to pull some 19-year-old tail again, like the old days, like the glory days? Well, you could shave and look skinnier. You could work out or something. And then maybe you'll be able to fake it for a while. Maybe even if you have gray hairs, a lot of guys, when they start getting older, they start dyeing their hair, Just for Men Club and shit. Trying to get some of that sweet poontang. And so that's the way, so he's trying to go for that. I'm young. His girlfriend or his sister was arrested, also illegal, by ICE agents. What is it about Latiners? Well, they're very close to their family. So the family is over everything else besides God. So most of the Latin Americans are like, what? They're like, okay, God, Dios, right? And then it's family after that is second. Family. And then other people, outsiders, that's last. That's like dead last. But family is center besides God to the core. And that I think that kind of extends to Brazilians, even though they're Portuguese. They weren't conquered by the Spanish. I think is the. I feel like this turquoise bowl here will be good for the corn. Let's say. I didn't put a timer on this. I just assumed that it's ready to rock. Okay. After all this time boiling and stuff. So I'm making an assumption here. And then I'm gonna put the butter on. Gonna lather it up, baby. Lather it like, imagine some 25-year-old girl, blonde with some big knockers, just lathering those tits in the shower. Imagine yourself. Imagine there's some pretty girl in Romania and she's just got these big tits and she's 24 years old. She's putting the soap on and it's fucking on, you know? So there it is. Now we go into the potatoes, the pagredos, I call them. Hungry Jack, get jacked. No. That'd be like a 1980s commercial, right? Like, Hungry Jack, get fucking jacked. Well, you can't say it without the F word, but you know. Well, we're going to measure 1 3/4 cups of water. Milliliters. What? Okay. Put some butter in there. A pinch of salt. Just, you know, don't want to die today, but not necessarily. Yeah, how do I feel about... Okay, so this guy wrote a James Bond novel, a new one, but he's not Ian Fleming, the former naval intelligence officer and creator of the James Bond series. It's just some English dude. Now, how was he able to get that? The estate of Ian Fleming let him write a novel, a new novel of James Bond. The problem with it... Oh, we gotta put 1 cup of milk in here. Country boys, what they gonna do out there in Arkansas coming for you, hillbilly? Yeah. So we went to a club in Arkansas. Country music bar, and I swear the band that was playing, the guy had a fucking mullet and it looked like fucking Billy Ray Cyrus. I swear to God, the place was called Boot Scooters. Like Boot Scoot Boogie, like Brooks and Dunn. So my aunt was a single lady, and she's like, "There's all these guys here. There's guys," and I'm like, I'm a dude, and I'm like, "There's just guys, just drinking beer. This is like fucking Roadhouse. I mean, this is gay. This. I'm sorry. This is worse than Roadhouse. There's no blondes with their titties jiggling. This is crap. It's like, of course, boot scooters burned down, and I'm not even making this shit up. This seriously happened." Yeah, if I was an actor, it would be like, I like this movie. It was about a stalker, and the guy's like stalking this chick because they were in a relationship once, but she breaks up with him, and then like he goes up to the door. This is like a 1990s like thriller, horror movie, and he's like, "Let me in the fucking house!" And I just love how he just like loses control like that stuff. Let me in the fucking house. That might have been one of the scariest teen romance movies of the mid to late 90s, right? Let me in the fucking house. The championship with authority. That's what they just said on TV. If you were following along in the background. It's about 5. We're going to get the news. We're going to get the daily, the nightly lies. By the government, by the military, industrial, pharmaceutical, technological media complex. The mainstream media, the deep state. It's going to be the Russian Propaganda Federation News. They do report some facts, but it's spun for like just elite classes only. It's the facts, but it's the wealthy elite spin of the facts. I think a lot of people realize that by now, but so it's either it's outright lies or it's spun to a certain narrative. What are these narratives? Don't vote for Trump. Biden is a saint. Doesn't do corrupt Chinese energy, green energy scams, or Burisma in Ukraine. No, he's a saintly grandpa. He's a saint. Okay. People using fossil fuels are destroying the environment through climate change. That's the other agenda narrative, right? So they can make millions of billions of dollars off Chinese solar panels, fucking green energy scam bullshit. Wind turbines, shit that don't work. Shit, I mean, if they were building a sun, I wouldn't have a fucking problem. But they're not building a sun. They're trying to take away shit from ordinary people. Do you think the government has direct energy weapons, weather manipulation technology? Certainly, no technology is off the table. Technically, there's engineering challenges, but technologically speaking, there's really no limits to what engineers could actually build. And that's whether it's weather manipulation, whether it's energy manipulation, maybe even fusion power, maybe quantum teleportation, maybe even space warp. They could probably do almost anything. Anti-gravitational technology. What do you think is impossible? Well, I mean, maybe some people think that quantum teleportation is impossible. Maybe some people think that star drive warp transport is impossible. Warp travel. Warping the fabric of space and time so that you can traverse it quickly. So, how often in our world does science fiction become science fact? Very often. I would say that in the year 1984, almost 40 years ago, then we mix this bad boy up. Get my phone so it doesn't overheat, and then we're gonna mix this bad boy up, and then we're gonna be ready to have din baby. Got this buttery salty potatoes. You are feeling the buttery salty potatoes? So Biden's like, well, we could get rich off each other, China. Why don't we just be trading partners and be buddies? Why don't we stop trying to be, the global dominant power in the world? Why don't we just trade and we'll get rich and our families will get rich and everybody will be happy, right? So that's what President Blow Biden has for us. But the Chinese Communist Party is not into containment or appeasement, and they want to be the dominant world power. So, no dice. No go for launch. This peace thing is a joke. So, peace my ass. So the chief of police in Pennsylvania got really agitated when the reporter said, "You said he was contained. And why did he escape your dragnet?" Well, he's starting to get resources now. Somehow he's stealing them. And he's only traveling at night, I guess. And he sleeps in secluded areas during the day. How is he able to blend in? Well, thanks to Biden's open borders. The sight of illegal immigrants just hanging out is like very prevalent in the United States now. If there's like 7 million illegals from the corrupt, inept Biden-Harris administration. So typically that would be that would stick out like a sore thumb. A guy with a backpack who has kind of a different color skin. A little bit browner than your average Caucasian Anglo-Saxon. So he has kind of whitish skin, like they would have down there. And I'm sorry, it's kind of like a weird, like when Latins are white, it's kind of like an off-white. It's not your vanilla necessarily. It's like almost like an albino. You know what I'm talking about. If you've ever been around Latinos or people from Central and South America, the lighter skin tone ones are kind of like off. Oh, okay. Man stabbed her. Usual Houstonian noobs. Probably. The illegals, they're probably stabbing people and shit. It's in the hood. In the ghetto. In the ghetto. Let me in the fucking house. So I hope no one gets killed or raped or stabbed or anything like that in Pennsylvania. I think he's going to get out of Pennsylvania, and then he's going to try to hit that freeway out. And then he's going to be going down south. He might even come here, unfortunately, but the reporters are going to be like, why didn't you find him? Why didn't you find him? Danelo Cavalcante. And the guys are going to be like, well, shit happens. And then people are going to go, and just stand around. So, this is a bit too much info wars and not enough nympho wars. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, yeah, there's not enough talk about titties and ass. I know. We need to talk more about hooters. Butt naked chicks. We're not talking enough about that. Well, at first I thought Alex Jones was a loon. The more I thought about it, though, I was like, no, this guy's onto something. I do believe most political and business actions are for personal self-enrichment of themselves. Politicians try to enrich themselves and their families. And I think Daniel Cavalcante is going to escape the police dragnet, as he's already proven he has. Hopefully no one gets stabbed or killed or raped. I think he's going to try to steal another car so he can get mobile. Yeah. I don't think the Pennsylvania people are going to be able to, make a living off this guy. I don't think they're going to be able to. I mean, I know there's some people broke and desperate, and they're out there, trying to get that 20 grand. I get it. If this shit was happening in my area, I'd be out there too. I'd be out there every day looking for that motherfucker. Try to get that 20,000. It's not a lot of money, but it's a little, especially in this Biden inflation economy. So, here it is. I told you, he's leaving. He's kind of going in the opposite direction, huh? Look, why is he smiling at the camera like he's Elvis or something? He's kind of mugging for it. He's like, he's going. Yeah, I think. What is he trying to do? Mock the. Oh, that would be a good idea. If you're a fugitive, go go and jack the Xfinity Wi-Fi, or the go jack the UPS truck or something. Just haul ass. I mean, if you could defeat the dude, a lot of those guys are kind of fit because they're moving packages all day. So, I don't know.
We're in the village of Moulay Brahim. We're about 30 miles east of the.
Yeah, like anybody knows where Moulay Brahim is.
That are either completely collapsed or, like the one behind me, partially collapsed.
Morocco was rocked by a earthquake. All right. Well, God bless. Best of success. No, not InfoWars. Conspiratorial. They said they're the liberal global world order. That's on record. Politicians say global world order all the time. It's not. It's at this point, it's not a conspiracy if it becomes fact. So just wait for the 2024 election, and you're gonna see. They're gonna show themselves. So God bless. Best of success. Peace.